The USFL is back. Great news. What is it? It's football, so we gotta talk about it. The United States Football League, a league that started in the 80s and also died in the 80s. That's right, USFL. Die young and leave a sexy corpse. Actually, your logo is trash. Get some designers on that. It's been 40 flippin' years. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shut Up Football. I'm Jeff Stoltzfus. That's Kevin. And this episode, we can't shut up about the USFL. It's back, I guess. And now that this defunct league is now unfunked, I want in. I have an NFL team, an XFL team, but no USFL team. There are 8 teams in this league. And before you ask, no, Sexy Corpses is not one of them. That would have been really convenient, though. Hey, if you like football and shenanigans, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Take a break from buying virtual pants in the metaverse and click a button for me. Alright, let's get judgy. I grew up in Pennsylvania. So first, let's look at the Philadelphia Stars. Not a great start. Stars is a pretty weak name. It's a shape. Shapes don't strike fear in the hearts of your opponents. Some of the other names in this league are pretty aggressive. This one belongs on a box of Lucky Charms. This is the worst bomb dropped in Philly since Move. They should have embraced the local culture and named them the Johns. That's Philly proud. Not familiar with John? John is Philly slang for a person, place, thing, or event that one need not or cannot give a specific name to. Used in a sentence, I just saw that John. He was over by the John. Or, he put the jammy in the John. Star doesn't mean anything. This name gets 0 stars from me. Last place. The logo is cool. There's not much you can do to zhuzh up a star, but they did a pretty good job. I like the retro look. As for the uniforms, holy shit. Some kind of ketchup and mustard theme going on here, with construction tape running up the sides, which is optimistic to think these uniforms are being worked on. More likely the designer was lost in thought in the condiments aisle and just gave up. As for the team, I don't know one of them. But I will give points for a wide receiver with the last name Eagles and a tight end with the first name Bug. Bug is a cool-ass name. Sounds like someone you want to hang out with and not owe money to. I hope it's his given name, not some nickname that he earned because he swallowed a bug or got a bug stuck in his ear or fucked a bug. It would be disappointing to learn his real name was something stupid like Gulliver or Dave. The head coach is Bart Andrus. He looks like the kind of guy true crime podcasts are looking for. Like he knew the best place to pick up hitchhikers in the 70s, and if he has one too many Tom Collins, he's gonna tell you. And then give you a look like he said too much and casually check his watch to see if the shovel store is still open. Putrid uniforms and a boring name cancel out a decent logo and hometown ties. Worst place! Next we have the Michigan Panthers. Panthers is a solid name. Just ask Carolina. And if there's one thing Michigan is known for, it's its out-of-control panther population. Points! The logo is pretty strong. I love a good pissed-off kitty, and this kitty looks pretty irate. The uniforms are just okay. I don't love the colors. Pretty boring. It reminds me of old NFL uniforms or small school college uniforms. Panthers had the first overall pick and took quarterback Shea Patterson, and man did the fans love that. I'm excited too. To learn who Shea Patterson is. I mean, he must be pretty important to go first overall. Oh, he played college ball in Michigan. They're cheering familiarity. They got a guy named Threat on defense? Hell yeah! Let's learn more about that guy. Oh, fuck, never mind. Paxton Lynch. Finally, some NFL experience. Good get by the Panthers in the 12th round. Sweet cheese! I'm gonna give 50,000 points for their roster. And then minus 50,000 points for their head coach, Jeff Fisher. There's only 10 games in the season, which begs the question, how is Jeff Fisher going to go 8-8? The math doesn't add up. Does it mean he goes 5-5, or someone give his mustache a firm shake until the answers fall out? There's some good stuff here. Not last place. Next up, the Birmingham Stallions. Where the fuck is Birmingham?
Alabama!
Oh, right on. Stallions is a killer name. Wild stallions, Italian stallions. A stallion is an uncastrated male horse. And it's nice to know that. They're brimming with testosterone, perhaps dangerously so. Look at that logo. Another angry animal. This horse is so horny. It's gonna stomp you to death if it doesn't get some kind of release. And you know what I mean. The uniforms look pretty lazy. Like they slapped the Broncos logo on a 49ers uniform and called it a day. It's got zero personality. Nothing about this screams roided up fuck pony. Embarrassing. It looks like a good book in a bowl of soup. I'm getting tired just looking at it. I recognize a few names on the roster. Running backs, Tony Brooks-James, wide receivers Victor Bolden Jr. and Emmanuel Hall. They all went undrafted but spent time on NFL rosters. Skip Holtz is the head coach. He's been coaching in college for decades, most recently at Louisiana Tech. If I were to build a statue of a college coach using nothing but silly putty in my imagination, it would probably look something close to Skip Holtz. Nothing grabs me here. Final score, 3 dumpsters. Finally, New Jersey gets a professional football team, the Generals, which I thought was a basketball team. Wait, Washington? That's the Commanders. But Generals are Commanders. What the hell is happening here? The Generals sound like the cheapest name available. More like the Dollar Generals. The only thing they're waging war on is creativity. Sounds like discount car insurance. All you need is Shaq to show up. Oh, there he is. This logo is horrible, and yet oddly familiar. Where have I seen this before? Ah, shit. Nyet! Nyet! As for the uniform, they're... Wait, what's happening here? That's the Stallions again, right? No. It's the same fucking jersey! Would they get a discount on red? Roster check. Hey, Mike Weber. I know that dude. I liked him a lot coming out of college. He's a hard-charging running back. I was surprised when he didn't stick on the bottom of an NFL roster. Wide receiver Jamon Moore was a 4th-round pick by the Packers. Devontae Busby? Oh, he's played all over the NFL. He even played in the AAF for the San Antonio Commanders. Commanders? Not this again. Let me guess, they wore red? What is happening around here? The Generals' head coach is Mike Riley. His credits include Nebraska, the AAF, the CFL, NFL Europe, and the XFL. Geez, this guy is the village bicycle. Everyone gets a turn. I hate the logo and the uniforms, but the roster seems okay. Middle place. The Houston Gamblers. Shouldn't the Gamblers be in Vegas? Or at least Atlantic City? What are you gambling on in Houston? Obesity rates and hurricane paths? I guess Gamblers is a pretty cool name. Technically, the players are gambling with their long-term health and likely brain traumas. I like the name. I don't like the logo. I get it. From a design standpoint, it makes sense. A G with the shape of Texas carved out of it, and a star, just to double down the whole Texasness of it all. But the star detracts from the shape of Texas. Drop the star. There's already a team named the Stars, and the Generals have stars for days. Not every team needs a star. This is not a 2nd grade spelling test. And the uniforms are... oh, pretty cool. I like the black and gray. It stands out from the sea of red and white. Has hints of Falcons and Raiders in it, but stands on its own. I like it. Clayton Thorson is the quarterback. I'm familiar with him, as the Eagles selected him in the 5th round of the 2019 draft. He played at Northwestern, has the prototypical size. He bounced around the NFL a bit, but most teams don't need a 3rd-string quarterback. Maybe he'll find success with the Gamblers. The head coach is Kevin Sumlin. See? That's what I pictured Bug looking like. Sumlin's got a history of coaching in Texas with both Houston and the Aggies. I like the name and the unis, but the logo and the roster leave me dry in all the wrong places. Ambiguous place! New Orleans has the Breakers. A pretty boss-ass name. I like breaking things. Great name for a team, very aggressive.
I must break you.
But the logo? It looks like a tourism company. Come visit the salty city of New Orleans. Unwind with beads, boobs, and Creole food. It's got all the jazz music you want, and all the jazz music you don't want. Relax in one of our above-ground cemeteries and try not to think about the ever-present danger of collapsing levees. This looks like a piece of art you'd find in a podiatrist's waiting room. Looks like somebody cropped one of those posters that says, "Life is a beach." I don't even know how to fix it. A vengeful wave? Maybe if it had the bird by the throat or something. This is a total fail for me. The Breakers' uniforms stand out with their bold blue. Everything else about them is pretty basic, but I appreciate how their color sets them apart. Kyle Sloter is their QB. He spent most of his NFL career on practice squads. I recognize a few names here. Wide receivers Taywan Taylor, Chad Williams, and Johnny Dixon. Larry Fedora is the head coach, which sounds like a fake name, and I like it. He's a real-life Mr. Hat. I can get behind this team if it just wasn't for that silly-ass logo. I'll give them 3 disgruntled waves. Wave. The Pittsburgh Maulers, another quality name. They're maulers. They maul people. Yeah! They're just mauling and balling. Love it. Look at that logo. Some psycho with a daddy hammer giving the business to a yinzer who owes him money. He's getting mauled. After a long, hard day in the steel mines, I'd be pretty pissed off too. Time to maul. Not in love with the color scheme though. It's a little, como se dice, fugly. It looks like the designer raided the Denver Broncos dumpster. You know what they say, one man's trash is another USFL team's uniforms. Kyle Lauletta is the quarterback. He was selected in the 4th round by the Giants of the 2018 draft. Jeff Thomas is another familiar name, speedy little receiver. The head coach is Kirby Wilson. Seen here telling someone to look at that motherfucker right there. He's been on no less than 9 NFL staffs, including the Steelers, so Pittsburgh is a good fit. Decent combination here, not worst place. The Tampa Bay Bandits, great name. Wet Bandits, Time Bandits, Smokey and the Bandit, who doesn't love a good bandit? The logo is fun, dude riding a pissed off horse, it's good. The uniforms, what is happening? Oh, what is happening? There are only 8 teams in this league and 5 of them have red as the dominant color. Okay, putting that aside and just judging this team on its own. The uniforms are fine. There's actually a surprising number of familiar names on this roster. Quarterback Jordan Ta'amu has bounced around NFL practice squads. He had a good run in the XFL with the St. Louis Battlehawks. Eli Rogers spent some time with the Steelers. He was in the CFL for a bit and played in the XFL for the DC Defenders. Derek Willies was on the Browns but could never quite hang on to a roster spot. Jordan Lasley was drafted in the 5th by the Ravens. He also played in the CFL and XFL. John Franklin III. I remember him from Last Chance U, which I guess the USFL is too. And Vinny Papali, who I didn't know one bit about, but Papali is a standout name, so I had to look into it and booyah! He is in fact the son of Eagles walk-on wide receiver Vince Papali, who was the subject of the 2006 Mark Wahlberg movie Invincible. And that's just a fun fact for the kids. Todd Haley is the coach. I don't like him, but I can't remember why. It's been a while. He's got head coaching experience with the Chiefs and over 30 years in the NFL. Most recently, he was the offensive coordinator for Riverview High School. Huh. A surprising amount I like here. I'll give this team 1 dead rat and a McDonald's salad. But we're not done yet. Okay, we're done. Time to pick a team. I wanted to like the Stars and the Maulers for that Keystone connection, but it just wasn't there. Instead, I find myself torn between the New Orleans Breakers and the Tampa Bay Bandits. Both have cool names, the Bandits have the edge in the logo department, but the Breakers have better uniforms. I think I'm gonna go with the hat. Senor Fedora's Breakers. Maybe if the league lasts longer than a teenage romance this time, they can fix the logo. You hear that, rivals? Suck it! Who are their rivals? Yeah, you don't know either? Okay, we'll figure it out. Wait, who'd you choose? Bandits? You son of a bitch. Thank you so much for watching Shut Up Football. Somebody send me a Breakers shirt. Peace!
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Washington? That's the Comrades. I did it. That's the Commanders. Put that jammy in the John.